Are we ready? Let's shackle our hands now. We've heard Chris speak. He's raised many points and problems we've experienced all these many years. And we're experiencing not only in other parts of the world, but here in Ontario, and that's why we're rallying today. You're not going to go home and sleep on this. We've started the fight, and it's going to continue. Contact the Ontario Association of the Deaf. Lend your support to them. Wayne Nicholson is president of OAD, and we invite him to come and take the platform now.
Our language is dying. American Sign Language, our language, is dying. That's what I have to say to you now. As I was walking up here towards Queen's Park, I was thinking about our deaf children. I was thinking about all of those people in the interpreter training programs, in the schools, members that are advocates for the deaf community. I need to tell you, the language is dying, unfortunately. How? Why? I don't understand. And as I walk up here and I see this large support, I realize it's dying. In Denmark, 97% of kids have cochlear implants. Here in Canada, the same thing's happening. The use of sign languages around the world is dying. Schools all around the world that are for the deaf are closing. It is dying. We're all wearing black here today. We all have candles. No! No more! It's time to stand up. It's time to fight. These are our enemies as well as our friends. There are many enemies out there. And they need to know that we also have many friends at Queen's Park. Lots of friends in the community who do support us and sign languages around the world. Together, the World Federation for the Deaf, they see that this is going on here with the Ontario Association of the Deaf on May 11th. Everybody here remembers what went on there about the regulations that Chris just talked about. That's making movements. That's shaking the world. People are aware of it, and they see that this is the groundswell. And what they're finding out more and more is that cochlear implants are on the rise, and this is all sort of hushed and swept under the carpet. Everything's okay, they say. And as they see more and more cochlear implants happening, deaf schools are closing, interpreter shortages, sign language itself dying. Dying. No. It's time to stand. It's time to fight. It's time to advocate and lobby. The OAD has been fighting since 1886 to fight for sign language rights. Autism. That's what this speaks to. Autism doesn't recognize sign language. It believes that speech is better. To have a happy, prosperous, successful life, you need to be like everybody else over there. Like these statues of hearing people. Right? So you people here have to realize that that's wrong. We have schools, we have training programs, all of these programs that have taught that the oral method of communication is better. You need to read and write and speak. And that's simply not true. Sign language is better. It's best. That's how you have your access. That's how you learn. That's communication, and we need to stop this now. Sign language rights apply to so many different venues or avenues of our life. Children and their right to education, to use American Sign Language so that they can learn. For employment, how many of us look for work consistently, having difficulties? The frustrations and the barriers in finding employment. And why? Because they think, well, sign language, that's not what we want. We want you to be able to speak. And if you're deaf, then they're afraid. And that's Queen's Park's responsibility. They have not marketed, they have not shown that ASL is the language that can be used for the deaf community and for success. It's Queen's Park's responsibility. The various hospitals that we've been in a very large struggle with, the medical community, and with the decision of the Eldridge decision in BC, that's guaranteed access for interpreting services in hospitals, and still hospitals refuse to do so. They'll say, we don't need interpreters. We'll just find somebody that has some sign language skills. Somebody that can say, hi, I am Pat, and fingerspell, how are you? That's not interpreting. Everyone has access to should have access to American Sign Language, right? When you think about the impact on the psyche of the deaf community and from the mental health of us, the frustrations and the barriers, it needs to stop. We need to wake up tomorrow morning and think, yes, I am deaf and I can do anything. I can live this life. Queen's Park, stop.